To help people struggling with energy bills and address the climate crisis, we need to bring energy use right down by fully insulating walls, roofs, floors, windows and doors, and get the remaining energy needed from renewables and heat pumps.
Plan for the retrofit, for us at least, after the assessments, they said we need to first get the insulation as good as possible. So that's why they decided to do loft insulation and then draft for the doors. So that was the first step, and then the second step is going forward is to get the solar panels, so that we get some renewable energy.
It is overall a negative, hard thing to think about because the climate is dramatically, dying actually in many ways. But then these small pockets of goodness in people, I think it's the people that just keep me hopeful.
We are on the right side, and we are trying our best to change it, and it gives us the good feeling like that at least we're on the right side.
People are inspired by a much bigger vision, which includes biodiversity, green spaces, a fruit tree growing in every garden, thinking together about transport choices, shared e-bikes, looking out for neighbours, discussing together which streets need to be tackled first. A zero-carbon neighbourhood designed and co-created by and for the community themselves, building vital foundations for community resilience in testing times. We must retrofit our cultural mindset, rediscovering values shared across the world.
Start with the best bit, the solar panels, which I hadn't been too keen to have particularly, but once the man came and explained to me how beneficial they are to me, but also to the environment, I was really excited. And they were finished. They came and installed all the meters and things which are behind here a few weeks ago, and then last Friday they put the panels on the roof at the back because the back's south facing. And since last Friday, I've already benefited from it, as so must the environment as well, but it's been great.
It's a lot of different. I didn't check a meter, tell you true. I'm not very good on that, but it is a lot of difference. Solar panel, we have a lot of different about the bills and...
Retrofit is a gift that keeps on giving. The eye-opening benefits include 1.4 billion savings to our NHS, currently treating illnesses associated with cold homes. 500,000 skilled local jobs in a decade, cuts of up to 80% in home energy costs.
This scheme is perhaps the first of many, I hope, that will help people to improve their energy efficiency of their homes, both to keep them warmer, save them money, help the environment, and I hope this sort of thing will continue. And the more that that happens, hopefully, the more that people who can afford to do these measures themselves will do them. I would consider doing certain measures myself now that I've understood a bit more about what is possible in an old Victorian home.
The most powerful means of upgrading homes and slashing carbon emissions is already proven and available. All that's missing is the political will to deliver. Homes are still being built that won't cope with our climate future. The Great British Insulation Scheme will only reach 1% of homes that need retrofitting. We're trapping ourselves into unsustainable demand for increasingly expensive and polluting heat. Urgent investment is needed in local communities to give us capacity to deliver energy-efficient retrofits at scale to slash bills permanently.
What matters most to me in this work is the connections that we've made. So before we used to have an interfaith event where we used to make an effort to call people from church, but now it's about something, a common goal that we work for. So we've been working with the Botsel Heat Church and Sultan Bahu, which is a Sunni mosque. And it's not often that, sometimes we get a chance to work with different mosques. So now what we do is we all get together, like to talk about retrofit. And there's different places of worship, people who actually meet here. And we organize the event together. So I'm really, because I do a lot of interfaith work, so those connections are very important to me. For people to know that, this is a place that they can come and they're going to be, welcomed very warmly.
Whilst our national approach moves at a snail's pace, at local level there are green shoots. Imagine an ordinary inner city neighbourhood tightly packed with Victorian terraces, mainly lower income, where residents have minimised their heating bills and are making an impact on climate change. Retrofit Balsall Heath builds on local green initiatives going back more than 15 years. A key part of the vision is that neighbourhood-scale retrofit shouldn't be top-down with community involvement as an add-on. It must be community-led. What if the climate transition and retrofit of our homes, streets and neighbourhoods were designed, owned and governed by the people who live there?
We're all aware about what's happening with the climate and the environment, but on a personal level, because my heating bills until the last year had been relatively okay, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't equated the amount of, gas we're using, and that I could have done this ages ago. What's most important for me in this journey is, fundamentally having a warm house, because our house it was freezing in the winter, and then obviously the big thing is that, as part of that journey, you're reducing your carbon emissions and you're relying less on fossil fuels, and that's a win-win. I would imagine a lot of our old drafty houses in this country are responsible for a lot of carbon emissions. We're relying so much on gas.
We have a vision in Balsall Heath. Yeah, we have the will, we have the heart, we have the love of the community and people. What we need the people in positions of power, the combined authority, the city council on there, to be a supportive partner.
Neighbourhoods across Birmingham are brimming with insight, energy, will, openness, imagination and deep hope. We need to unlock this. Short-term nationally mandated single-measure grant programmes using existing procurement approaches will not lead to the long-term increased local resilience we need. Imagine if we allocated the 150 billion set aside for the energy price guarantee to support locally led, place-based retrofit programmes. Imagine if they supported local training, low-cost or free home upgrades, and were designed to circulate money into the local economy, help build community pride and strength, while also generating massive positive impacts in health and well-being.
So I'm Navin Sood. I'm a resident on Court Road. I have been for 20 odd years. We got in touch with John and Joe, and they told us about this scheme where we could get funding for some things for our house. We weren't sure what the solar panels were talked about and installation were talked about, but we weren't sure what we were going to get. We had several people, sort of contractors came round and said, looked round and said, we could do this, we could do that. And they left again, and we were saying, well, how long is this going to be? And they said, well, we don't know. Everything that they've recommended, they've done in very short period of time, and we've lots of different contractors, and pretty much brilliant, all the way. They've been friendly, they've been helpful, walking, we keep the shoes outside and that sort of thing, and being respectful. And there's a need, there's a want in the community for this. Making houses better, you're making them more sort of environmentally sort of friendly, sustainable, whatever, but obviously first and foremost about people living in them, right, and making them comfortable. And like I said about the drafts sort of gone and the moisture and all that's gone, so I've seen tangible benefits straight away. The solar power is a longer game, but I want other people to experience that.
We're calling for a new national energy and retrofit programme that draws on the power of the state and the power of our streets and neighbourhoods. We need these partnerships not only to deliver our collective retrofitting needs, but for citizens to become stewards of our local green transition towards fairer, greener futures.
And so first of all, to say that their members have said, it has been very inspiring to see neighbors in my street for the first time talking about retrofit. I knew about the scheme because one of my neighbors knocked on my door saying, Marta, your house is in tatters, which is true. No, I'm honest here. Have you heard about this? So that kind of spirit and that kind of initiative, I found it very, very powerful. And also the notion, as other people have said, that is not something that we are applying for individually through schemes that you find online. The fact that the area is improving as a community, I think it has created synergies, and it also helps to change slightly the impression and the self-perception perhaps of an area that hasn't had as much visibility and as much investment as other neighboring South Birmingham areas. Now, building on what Dan has said, I think for me what has been an issue has been the implementation, right? And I'm building on points that I think other people have made about thinking about homes, not units, and about people being at the center, not as somebody that they are talked about, done things on their behalf, and the impression that because it's for free, we should be grateful. It's not free. I mean, it's money that has been advocated for by people, and that actually, basically, I think all the contractors charge. So it's not free, you know. And I think for me that's an important point.
In a house off Ombersley Road, down by the Ladypool Road, and it's an old Victorian terrace, 2 up, 2 down, very drafty. And I was lucky to have all new windows, a new front door, and loft insulation, and extractor fans fitted to the kitchen and to the bathroom, which is amazing. I've lived there 26 years, and I had double glazing put in, but obviously 20 years ago. And some of those windows were broken, so in terms of safety, it's made a massive difference to me, and I'm hoping as well to see the benefits of that in the winter. Having a new front door has been amazing as well, and in terms of safety, that's been a massive improvement. And for me, the scheme has been amazing. The workmen that have come have all been really lovely.
But everything, they done good jobs, panels and all these things. I couldn't say anything else, like, you know, but they done good.
You've been a real street champion on Melrose Avenue,
Yes,
where Jan lives as well. And I think we signed up 95% of Melrose Avenue with your help, didn't we?
Well, thank you. Thank you. I try my best to please, but you can't please everyone.
But you had to wait a long time in the middle as well.
Yeah. I've been waiting a long time for panel, like, you know, but at the end of the day,
the last 3 months of energy usage, my electricity bill has certainly, it's gone down by a third at least.
I'm really, really, really pleased and not as worried about the winter as I was. I was really, really worried. 100%, but they should also be starting right at the beginning. Instead of building houses without solar panels, they should be building houses with solar panels and without gas boilers, and they should be start now. Don't wait like they've waited here. I mean, this is a 100-year-old house, so they would never have had them, but now there are new builds, but they're not building them, are they, with solar panels? And I think more help. I mean, a lot of rich people can afford to do it, so if there was more education about the solar panels, generally, like even for me, I knew a bit, but now I feel like I really know and I can really see the benefits. If everybody knew more about some of these things, so if education was better, really, knowledge was more shared, and that climate change was taken more seriously by those that can do.